The story of one high school heroes begins with Kim Uijayam transferring to a new school. Kim Uijayam's father Kim Suktae discusses how his son excels in everything and assures the teacher that Uijayam will adapt well to the new school. The homeroom teacher then takes Uijayam to his new classroom, where another student, Kang Yoon-ki, arrives late. Uijayam introduces himself to the class and sits at the back. The teacher says that Uijayam was the top student at his previous school and asks the students to get along with him. Another student, Hong-tu, wonders why a top student would choose to transfer to their school. After the teacher leaves, Uijayam puts on his headphones, which irritates Hong-tu. He thinks that Uijayam is trying to ignore them. Another student, Jinwoo, asks Hong-tu not to mess with the new student. After school, Uijayam goes to his cram school. On the way home, his father sends him a message saying he will be late. Uijayam should solve the homework and share it with him through SNS. At home, Uijayam asks his mother if he can take her medicines. His mother worries, so Uijayam lets it go. Suktae arrives at home later that night. He goes straight to Uijayam's room to check on his homework. Uijayam makes a mistake in his work, and his father strictly oversees as he solves the problem again until he gets it right. After his father leaves, Uijayam tries to choke himself to death. At school the next morning, Uijayam walks in on Hong-tu and Jinwoo bullying another student, Mingseop, since he did not buy them bread. Uijayam sits at his desk and takes out the career form they had been given the previous day. When his father saw it, he had written that Uijayam's dream was to be a doctor. Just as Uijayam is frustratingly glaring at the paper, Hong-tu makes Mingseop carry him around the classroom. Hong-tu knocks down Uijayam's Walkman. Hong-tu continues bullying Mingseop, which reminds Uijayam of his father. Uijayam loses it and yells at Hong-tu. Hong-tu beats him down until Jinwoo stops him. After school, Hong-tu, Jinwoo, and Sungjun stop Uijayam on his way home. They pull him aside and take all his money. Hong-tu puts his number in Uijayam's phone and orders him to always answer within 10 seconds when he calls. Uijayam explains that he cannot pick up calls after school, but Hong-tu slaps him. Meanwhile, Sungjun observes Uijayam and notes that he does not look scared. At home, he goes through the same routine. His father oversees his studies, and he tries to choke himself. Hong-tu texts Uijayam and asks him to bring bread, which he does not do. In class, Hong-tu takes Uijayam's Walkman as punishment for not getting the bread. Uijayam asks him to give it back since it was important to him. Hong-tu intentionally drops the Walkman to the floor and steps on it. Uijayam explodes, and a fierce fight ensues between them. Uijayam beats Hong-tu until he can no longer get up. Kang Yoon-ki takes an interest in Uijayam. He approaches him after classes, asking how he will handle Hong-tu's friends. Uijayam says he has no intention of fighting, but Yoon-ki thinks he is just being naive. Uijayam feels about the fight on the way to his cram school, which gives him pleasure. He is lost in thought, so he almost misses his stop. At home, his father waits, and he reminds him about the tests. The Walkman is important to Uijayam because his elder brother, Sukyum, gave it to him. Uijayam thinks back to a conversation with his brother, and he imagines seeing him in his room. His father enters the room, and Sukyum's image disappears. The next morning at school, Hong-tu starts a fight again with Uijayam. Uijayam apologizes for the previous battle, but Hong-tu is keen on revenge. Yoon-ki tries to advise Uijayam on what to do when Hong-tu and his friends come over for a fight. Uijayam insists that he is not going to fight. Sungjun leads Hong-tu and Jinwoo to confront Uijayam at the washrooms. Sungjun asks Uijayam to kneel, but he holds his ground, glaring into Sungjun's eyes. The homeroom teacher walks in and stops the confrontation. He asks Yoon-ki, who is spectating, to take Uijayam to the infirmary. Back in the classroom, Yoon-ki continues talking to Uijayam, coaching him on handling Sungjun in a fight. He says that Uijayam cannot win in a fist fight with him, so he should try pinning him down. Uijayam insists he does not fight and asks Yoon-ki not to talk to him anymore. Hong-tu takes Uijayam's Walkman at the end of the school day. He calls him and asks to meet where they had roughed him up the previous day. Uijayam wants to run to the meetup, but Yoon-ki advises him not to, since he will be too exhausted to fight. At the meetup, Sungjun challenges Uijayam to a fight. If he wins, he will get back his Walkman. At first, Sung Joon seems to have it all under control. He does not know that Ui Jaeum is learning his moves as he allows himself to be his punching bag. At the end of the episode, Ui Jaeum avoids one of Sung Joon's punches and lands a good one on his face.